we've now got all of our data. So your observations chart should be completely filled in at this point. Okay, now for the analysis, you need to fill in this chart. Okay, and all you're doing for this chart is deciding whether the material is ionic or molecular based on which test? The conductivity test. Okay, and then secondly, the compound's identity. So you've got the materials listed here in the materials. Okay, so you know what the unknowns are, what their possible identities are. Okay, what you have to do is what we talked about yesterday. Okay, look at your observations and see which one it fits with. All right, so if you got a blue crystalline solid, it dissolved easily in water, and it conducted electricity, and it had no extreme pH. Which one of those unknowns does it fit with? Put that in beside it. All right, so that's what you're doing there. Okay, so you should be able to figure out most of them, and at the end you might have a couple that might be tricky. Okay, but you should be able to figure them out based on the notes that I've given you and the stuff we've talked about before. All right, that's all there is to the analysis, is just that chart. Okay, filling in that chart and getting the identities. Then you have your conclusion. For your conclusion, copy and paste your hypothesis. And then tell me, based on your data and your analysis, can you accept it or do you have to reject it? So we were talking about all compounds having unique physical properties. Did you see that? Okay, did every one of those things have at least something that was different than everything else, or some combination that was different? Okay, if so, what does that mean about your hypothesis? Okay, were you able to identify them all? What does that say? Okay, and then lastly is your evaluation. So identify any sources of error in the lab and explain how you could improve it. What were some things that maybe gave you difficulty, okay, or could have possibly led to error that you couldn't do anything about, and how can you fix them in the future? All right, 2 of those. The class discussion, you don't have to do. We're going to talk about that after I mark your labs and hand them back to you. All right, everybody clear on those last few things?
When is this due?
This is due on February 26th, so that's the Wednesday when we come back. It's also in Google Classroom in the assignment. Now, sorry, other thing in Google Classroom in the assignment, guys, is I posted the observations video this morning as well. So I'll post what I'm recording right now. Okay, but I also posted the observations video, which you realistically should watch when you're putting your lab report together, just to confirm that your data is correct, or if you didn't finish, okay, then you'll definitely want to look at that. All right, so if you go into Properties of Compounds Lab, now there's another YouTube video there, okay, and it's just me doing the lab, okay, and I did it in a big watch glass. Right, instead of in the tray, so all the samples are quite a bit bigger. Okay, the observations are very clear. I filmed it in 4K. Okay, so it's like wicked. Right, it's super clear. So have a look at that. Okay, and just confirm your data with mine. Right, questions on that? Okay, so you've got analysis to do, conclusion to do, okay, and evaluation to do. Everything else, realistically, you should already have had done leading up to now. All right, so that stuff really shouldn't take you all that long, okay, to get finished. But when we come back from the break, if you have questions or you need some help, okay, then come in and see me at lunch or scheduled help, or even today if you want to. Okay, come and see me and we can try and figure things out for you. All right, any questions? All right, tomorrow we're going to go over solubility. That'll be the last thing we cover before the break. Okay, so you got a little bit of time now. You got your phone there. You got your group. Maybe start talking about what you think is what. Okay, what things are what.